old gardener who, if you were just getting into Wicca, you may not know, but most of Wiccans do obviously know who he is, because he is kind of... Oh, we're live. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't know we were live. I accidentally hit the live button. Okay. Anyway. All right. We are coloring today in the Jasmine, what is it? Jasmine Becket Griffith coloring book. You guys, her stuff is so beautiful. She is a beautiful artist. I love her girls. So I've gotten started on this one. So let you guys see that. Her name is Lily. I think she is gorgeous. So what I want to do is show you how I did her skin and how I did the hair. But I'm going to do that on another one of her, we'll call them her dolls. Another one of her dolls. And then we'll come back to this one and we'll work on some more wings over here on the side. So I can show you how I did that. Finish up the wings here with the black inking, and then we'll start some over here. And the reason I want to do this is because it makes it easier for me, because I've already pulled the colors that I want to use. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about. Okay. I know a big thing always is like, oh, I have to choose colors, and it can be kind of stressful. Like, what color combination should I choose? Okay, you guys, I looked around my room. Color combinations are everywhere, but in my art studio / yarn studio, I have tons of yarn because I knit. And if whatever colors you choose to knit with are colors that combinations you like, right? So I pulled this off the wall. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Here's a perfect color combination. So can you tell? I started using this color combination. Okay, now you may not have yarn because you're not a knitter. If you like this idea, go to, you can go to Michael's online, Joann's online, or Hobby Lobby online, or anybody else who sells yarn, and start looking at their yarn, and you'll start seeing color combinations. And that's how you can get some color combinations for yourself for coloring. So that's how I chose this. Isn't that great? I love it. And look, the color combination came out here beautifully. So, all right. Now, the page that we're going to color, let me show you a few that are really, isn't that gorgeous? I have them all marked, the ones that I want to color. Look how pretty that one is. They're all gorgeous. I've been wanting to, I've had this book for almost, I think, a year and a half, 2 years, and I never colored in it. Is that a shame or what? And you guys, the paper is nice. It's thick enough. You can use watercolor, because I do a watercoloring, especially on the face, and a little bit of pencil on top of that. And I watercolor base usually everything and then pencil on top. I'll show you guys that in a second. But anyway, this paper is nice and thick. It handles watercolor very well. Not sopping wet watercolor, not like a wet on wet, but you know, it can handle the watercolor. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's the one we're going to do today. Okay? I'm going to show you how I did the skin and how I did the hair. Then we'll go back to the other one and I'll work on the butterflies. Or the butterfly, her wings. Isn't that gorgeous? Here's the another one. And then I'll show you the back. I have some back here too. We'll just take a minute so you guys can look at this coloring book. Isn't it? Oh, so beautiful. And like I said, I bought this a year and a half, 2 years ago. So it's probably, you know, it's probably reduced by now, because I'm sure she's come out with more coloring books since then. In fact, I need to see what other ones I want to buy of hers, because I am obsessed with her coloring book. Obsessed. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. Now I'm just showing you all my favorite pages right now. There's a ton more pages in here, but that'll give you a good overview. So if you like Jasmine Griffith's artwork, you can, I thought that was a neat one with the two girls. You can purchase them. I like to go on eBay. eBay seems to be the best place to buy your coloring books. So the other one I'm going to be coloring out of, I decided I'm going to color out of this one, and I'm going to color out of Becket Klein. His work is, he's a tattoo artist. His coloring books are fabulous. Okay, so let's go find, and we'll come back to this one, and we'll finish up the wings here with the black, marking in the black, how I did that. I'll show you that, and then coloring these wings, I believe. Okay, so we're gonna do her. She's gorgeous. Her name is Paisley. It says meet, it has a little thing right here on the side. It says meet a sweet little hip. If you don't want to hear this part, fast forward. Meet Paisley, little hippie fairy. Well, of course I would choose this, being a hippie fairy. A character illustration in the sequel to my strangling book. I don't know what that's. I don't know if I read that right. Again, featuring short stories. This particular piece is for another Kachina Micheletto short story. Paisley, also the middle name of Kachina daughter, my niece Eleanor Paisley, is a flower child / hippie sort of fairy. So this is intended to be very colorful, full of flowers, tie-dye wings, and a kind of swirling 60s psychedelic feel. Feel free to use all the colors in the box for your Paisley. You can't go wrong. So you know what? I didn't even know all this, and I chose the perfect colors for this. I already had pre-chosen them from the last one I colored. Anyway, let's move along. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a skin tone color. You guys, if you want like a deeper skin tone, like the one you guys saw on my other girl, this right here, you guys, let's see. Okay, it's by, what is her name? Jane Davenport. And it's called, I think it's called Tinsel. Let me just look and see. Yeah, it's called Tinsel. This color makes the most beautiful skin tone color. But what I like to do first is start out with my gelato, and just to get rid of the white face, okay? Get rid of the white paper. So, I don't know if you guys know this, when you do watercolor, you're supposed to, this is how I learned, you're supposed to start with one, looking for paper towels, you're supposed to have one jar of water for rinsing, and one jar to keep your brush clean, just to, you know, get it wet. But the other one is the one that you keep getting dirty. So you have one dirty water and one clean water. I'm trying to think who I learned that from. Hopefully I can think of her name. And this is another thing, I'm being brave. I usually make a copy of my coloring book page, and I take them out, and I do it because I'm chicken. I don't want to mess up. And I've decided that I am going to challenge myself and color in the book. Just making a little challenge for myself. So if I do mess up, you know what? I have to live with and work with what I've done and fix it. I remember I heard someone say that once, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. But I think you just gain a little confidence after you keep doing stuff, and you're willing to take more chance, more risk. How much risk am I talking? It's a coloring book page. And all the stuff you're seeing me do, you might be like, that's a little intense for a coloring book page. And it is, but it's not hard. And by doing this, you get to practice your color combinations. You get to practice your blending. So, just a second. I'm trying not to get into these eyes. So let me try to remove that. There we go. And we need to remove this off the lips. That's what I love about watercolor or water base, that you can just remove it with water. There we go. And if your paper does get a little bit too wet, you know, don't keep going until, you know, you make a hole in your paper. Just take the blow dryer to it. And if you're not a person who likes to use the dryer, in this situation, I would. Because you do want to get that dried off. You don't want to keep going over it and then put a hole in your paper. All right, so now we got to look and see the body And what this color ends up being is my highlight color. And it actually ends up looking kind of like, you know, like the highlight, like, you know, like when you see like a little white shadow highlight on someone. That's what this ends up looking like because the skin's so dark. This is like a perfect highlight color for the skin. Okay, let's do our arms next. Are those her arms? Yeah. There's a lot going on, so you just kind of have to break it down and look at what what's what. Like, these are the arms, so because you can get those confused with something else because there's a lot going on this page. But just look at it, break it down, take your time. And we'll see. I may not get back to those wings today on this video. We'll see. Okay. All right, I think that's all the skin. Did I get all the skin? The head, the neck, the arms. I think we got all the skin. Okay, cool. Next. Oh, and this color right here is a gelato. I try to tell you guys everything I use. This is a gelato, Faber-Castell gelato. Okay. And it is the color, what color is it? Peach. Okay. And no matter what skin tone I'm using, I usually use this first. Even if I'm doing a lighter skin tone, I use this first. I'll just leave the white spots as the highlights white. But I'll explain that another time. But I use this as my base color all the time. So I have a couple of those. So in case I ever decide to stop making that, I don't know what I would do. Just like if they don't ever stop making this color here for the darker skin tone, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'll do. And I only have one. So I am going to pick a couple of these more up, like when they go on sale, because I really like having that color for skin tones, for darker skin tones. Okay. Look at these. These are fabulous. Okay. See this? I got these at, and they're messy now. I got these at Daiso. Aren't these fabulous, you guys? Love these. And when you close them up, you could shake them and everything. No color gets splashed around, so it totally seals. But I love this because I have somewhere to put my inks or my watercolors that are like this in a bottle or a tube. Okay. Let me see where my color is here. Go a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to go around all the flowers because we're going to paint the flower. It's a different color. Just 1 second. I want to see something. Okay. Not easy to go around all these flowers. Just looking at something. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to leave a little bit of a white spot right there, so for a little highlight. And the same thing over here. I'm going to cover all this up except for a little highlight right there. I'm going to cover up her nose. Bring that all the way up. Okay. I'm going to leave a little bit of a highlight here for, you know, right in the forehead where there's a little highlight always left. Then her nose, I just want to go around her nose, but leave the center open, like a little bit white right there. We're going to throw a little white spot on her nose. Okay. I got a little bit in her eyeball there. Let's get that out. Okay, then, oh, let's continue on with the body. Almost forgot. Gotta do everything else too. Can't just leave the body. I was going to say, I hope this isn't too boring to you guys, but obviously if you're watching this, you want to see some coloring techniques or how I do things, so I'm assuming that you don't think it's boring. Okay, I'm leaving a little bit of highlight right there. And I'm going to leave a little bit of highlight right there in the center of her chest there too. Rick will leave a little less. Okay. Another thing is my brush that I'm using. I love this brush. It's, I think, a Master Touch. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Master Touch. It says round, but see, it's pointed. See how the brush is pointed? I like any watercolor brush that is pointed. It has a point on it. See that? That's the kind of, I use this. I'll probably use this the whole time. It just works so perfect. And Master Touch, you get them at a good price at where? Hobby Lobby. So, and I think you can get a pack of brushes. They're watercolor brushes there, or they'll say they're a combination of watercolor and acrylic. I love their brushes, and they're not even super expensive. It's not no major investment. I like to go back over the watercolor a little bit to just make sure it blends out so it doesn't look like a line there. Okay. So I'll go back over that a little bit just so it doesn't look like too much like a line. Blends out. The water kind of acts like your blender if you go back over it with a little bit of water. And I'm not going to try to claim that I'm some master watercolorist, because I'm not. These are just things that I have learned from different YouTubers, and I liked their techniques, so I have adopted them to my style. I know, as mixed media artist, or people do mixed media, is there any wrong or right way to do any of this stuff? Not really. Okay, so I'm going to blend with water, just blend that out so it doesn't look like it's too much of a line. Okay. I thought this was important to come back and show you guys how I did her skin. And I think the most important thing is for someone to tell you the colors that they use. And then if you like this skin tone color, you could actually go and get the, go to Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby and actually get these colors. Well, I would go to Michael's because Michael's has her stuff. And then the gelatos are at Michael's too. So if you want that, if you decide you like this technique. And if you really want to learn how to shade and highlight and all that, watch my video, but also watch other people's videos too, because you're going to learn so many different ideas, and you just keep watching, and then, you know, you start, eventually you'll just have your own little technique. You'll grab something from this person and something from that person and put it all together for yourself. And that's what it's all about. Okay, so now we have that. Now we need to go to a darker color. I'm going to close this up. We're going to use another Jane Davenport palette here shortly. Love this palette. Look how cute it is. Love it. Okay. Let me get another paper towel. Okay, I'm going to go with another darker brown to do some deeper shading. This is a, what's it called? Okay, you guys, I got this. This is this is gouache / watercolor, and that's what they call it. And it's an Asian brand. Anyway, this was like a $40 palette or $50 palette. I got it for $9.99 at Hobby Lobby when they were clearancing out their section. In fact, I had seen a girl do a, we're going to use this brown right here to do some more deeper shading. I seen this girl show it on her video, and when I saw that, I was like, oh, I hope I get so lucky to get that. And I went right to the store that day or the next day, and I walked right into this. And like an idiot, I almost didn't buy it. Almost. I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $9 just on this. I'm like, are you insane? You better spend your $9. Because this is like a $40 or $50 palette. It was something like that. Yeah. You better spend the money, Angela. Don't be cheap. Well, that is being cheap. Okay, so we're just going to take this and just go in here and do some shading. Right by the hairline. Around the flowers. And if you get some on the flowers, don't worry about it. It will be fine. This is like one of my favorite things to do too, besides collage work. I love coloring. Even though I'm using watercolor paints, I'm going to be using pencils here in a minute. And I just love to color. When I was little, I would sit in my room for hours and color. And I was very specific about my coloring. So again, let me just focus on that for a second. And by that, I mean, I only like to color birds, like specifically eagles. So I had this coloring book just full of eagles, and I colored the whole coloring book full of eagles. I do not know why. Well, you know me, I always like things with wings. I like birds, I like fairies, I like butterflies and dragonflies, anything that flies. Of course, fairies, like I said. So And I would only use like browns, bronzes, golds, silver, um, like coppery colors, tawny browns. That's the only colors I would use in the whole box. And this is a box of 100 crayons. And I would use up those crayons so quick, and I'd be like, okay, I need another box, and nothing else would be used except for those colors. I was a little crazy. Okay, so let's let that dry. And this is another thing. Sometimes you want to keep messing with things because you're like, is that what I want? Don't keep messing with it. Let it dry. Go on to another part. Let it dry. Because watercolor changes so much once it dries. It gets lighter, for one. And the color just changes so much. So once it dries, it may be perfect. And it's only watercolor, so you can always go back and do whatever. So if it's not what you want, you can go back and change it. But sometimes, just not sometimes, all the time, just let it rest, let it dry, and then go back. And a lot of times you'll find that it'll dry just perfect. I can't tell you how many times with watercolor I've done that, and I've been like, oh, thank God I didn't keep messing with that. Like that face, I'm messing with it too much. Like I need to stop, let it dry, and we'll see what it comes out to be. And it should be dry by the time I get back up there. I'm gonna do the arms. Let me make sure you guys are seeing me. Yeah. I'm gonna do the arms, and by the time I get back up there, the face should be dry, maybe. If not, we will hit it with the blow dryer. Let's blend that out with some water. There we go. Oh, I'm going to show you guys something else. This is what I, if you want to play with skin tones, but like you don't want to ruin a whole coloring book page, let me show you something you can do. And I'll show you what I did and how I played around with skin tone colors so that you kind of know right away, these are my colors I use for skin tones. If I want a lighter skin tone, a darker skin tone, it's nice to have those kind of already done in advance for yourself. And you can always keep experimenting too, finding it with new skin tones. Oh, I didn't. I'll show you guys in just a second. Okay, just soften that up a little bit. Another thing, let me remove. Got a little bit of water on that branch. Okay. That looks really, really pretty. I got some of this in her hair right here. That needs to kind of go. Okay. Move that out of her hair. Okay. Okay. Alright, we're going to get my blow dryer out and blow dry all of this before I start ruining things. Okay. So, There we go so far. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. All right. All right. Oh, one big mistake I was making right there is you should always put a piece of paper in between, just in case the water goes through or anything goes through. I was fine, but just in case. Oh, I was going to show you guys how I practice skin tones. Just a second. Let me grab. This is, sorry about that, Jane Davenport's, this is her art journal. I bought a couple of these, and I don't even work in it very much. So for my art journal, I like to work in altered books. I know, I'm weird. Anyway, this is a Jane Davenport stencil, or a stamp, excuse me. And it's this stamp right here. Okay, it's all faces. I would pick this up because, for one, it's not even that expensive, you guys. I think I bought it for maybe $2 or $3, maybe $4 at the most, when it was on sale. Because you can stamp out a bunch of faces really, really quick. I use that one. And you can use it for other things too, of course, but I'm saying you can use it for practicing, and you can practice different face tone, different colors, different color combinations. So see the different color combinations that I practiced? And you can choose different eye colors. You can see playing with those and different cheek colors. And okay, you guys see what I mean. So that is a really good thing to do if you want to practice your skin tones. There's a way to do it. And without making a big, time commitment. You just got those little faces that you're doing. And you could think, oh, I wonder how eyes would be this color, or this color eyes, or that color eyes, or that skin tone. You see, you can really play with things. Okay, let me blow dry this. Nice and dry. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to do her eyes. I like to do the eyes as soon as possible. Sometimes I do the eyes first, but I get to the eyes pretty quick. Okay, I'm just going to use one of these pens like this. It's a 0.1. I need my glasses. Where are my readers? Here they are. Okay, so the eyeballs don't come colored in. Actually, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this, a Faber-Castell Artist Pick Pen. Her eyes don't come colored in, which I think is kind of weird. Her eyeball. So we got to blacken that. Okay. And I throw catch lights in, but I don't leave any white spots. I throw my own catch lights in, which we'll be doing here in a second. Okay, so we got that. And then let's throw in some color. Okay, I do want it. I got some of her skin tones inside of her eyeball. Just take a little water and lighten that up. There we go. I'm just removing some of the skin tone out of her eyeball. Okay. So we're going to go to this palette, the Jane Davenport palette, and let's give her some green eyes. Okay. Now I'm going to put these green eyes in, but then we're going to deepen up the green eyes with a pencil. So a lot of this will be going on, a lot of this I will go over with pencil to do even more deep, more shading, or shading period. Okay, so we're going to use this green color right here. And this green is fabulous. We'll do her eyes. In fact, I gotta take some paint off of there. There we go. Okay. And these eyes look pretty cool, but wait till we shade them in with pencil. Put the shading in the eyes. It's gonna look fabulous. Okay, oh, let's go ahead and throw a little bit of, I have a little bit of, I don't know, some raspberry color here, but if I water it out a lot, it just is a real light pink, which is what I need. Yep, we'll water it out a little bit more. Yeah, and we'll just do that on this lash line, just a little bit of pink in this lash line. Just like you have for real, in real life, right? Since she puts that in. You can put a little bit right there in the corners too. Okay. I don't know if you guys can even see all that. I'm gonna remove some of the water out of there. There we go. In fact, this is a little deep for me. I'm gonna, this maybe not so deep. There we go. That's a little deep here for me too. The beauty of watercolor, if you don't like what it is, you can just add a little water and deepen it back out. Okay, so there's that. Okay, on her lips, I want to do her lips half purple, half magenta. So, let me look and see what I'm doing. This Mystic Purple right here I want to use, and that Fairy Tale. So we'll do the Mystic Purple first. And we're going to do her lips. We're going to do half purple and half magenta. So we'll do half purple. And I always have a piece of paper on the side over here to like, you know, test colors out and see, or take a little color off my brush. So I always have a little test paper over here. Okay, and then we're going to take a little bit of this color here. Which color is it? Fairy Tale. I'll put her other half of her lips this Fairy Tale color. Oh, I got a lot of color on there. It's bleeding a little bit into the purple. I want her lips to be half purple, half of that Fairy Tale color. There we go. Now we need to go back over the purple part again because I got a little overzealous with that, what's it called? Fairy Tale. Don't you love the name of Jane Davenport's stuff? She always, in fact, her pencils, she calls them wands, like she calls them magical wands. I love it. It's exactly what it is. I don't care what it is. This is a little magical wand. Your pencils, your colored pencils are. When you're knitting, your knitting sticks, those are little wands. So that's what I call everything now since I heard her say that. I'm like, oh, I like that. Trying to see what else I want to do. Okay. What I want to do is dry this, and we're going to work on the eyes. And we're going to start in with pencil, and then we're going to do more shading on the skin with pencil too. So let me turn my book around so I can show you what we've gotten so far. Okay. Isn't she beautiful? So pretty. So cool. I chose Hippie Fairy. Of course I did. Am I surprised? Okay. Anybody who's watching me isn't surprised right now. Okay, so we're going to work on the eyes. Just a second. While I work some things out here. Okay, I have two different greens. I have a dark green and I have an olive green. So I'm going to take my olive green, which is a little bit lighter, and I'm going to first go in with that right in the corners. Okay. Not coming too far in the middle yet because I'm going to blend it out. So you got to leave room for that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, well, first let me blend it out. Take my blender pencil. This is a blender pencil right here. I absolutely love these. You can get them like a pack of 2 at Michael's with a coupon for about $4 or $5. You can get them at Blick's, Art Supplies, or any art supply stores. I don't know if they have them at Joann's. I'm sure they have them at Hobby Lobby because they got a nice art department there. Joann's art, they're not into art like art supplies. Like true art supplies, they kind of suck with art supplies. But no shade, I love me some Joann's. It's just not the best place for art supplies. But Michael's is good. And then of course Blick's, an art supply store. Okay, now we have this dark green. I should show you guys this. You're probably going, what is she doing sharpening her colored pencils with a electric sharpener? Yes, I am. There's this pencil sharpener called an Orbit. I got it at, okay, here it is. I got it at Costco. But then you know what? We belong to Sam's Club too, and I saw it at Sam's Club also. Okay? And the big thing about it is you see this right here, this steel blade in there. That's the main thing about it, and you just put your pencil in there and it stops when it's sharpened. So that you don't waste your pencils. And you guys, it works. You do not like over sharpen your pencils, and it doesn't eat up your pencils at all. Okay, so now I'm going to take this dark green color and just in the very corners of the eye, just deepen it a little bit more, just in the corner, and you can blend it out a little bit with your blender pencil. You guys will see me using this blender pencil through this whole thing. I absolutely love blender pencils. Some people don't like blender pencils. I don't like having to do layer over layer over layer over layer. Okay, that drives me nuts. That's one reason why I do a color base with watercolor first and then use pencil over it. But even beyond that, if you have a blender, you don't have to keep going over and over and over and over and over. It saves you a lot of time and aggravation. That's just how I feel about that. Okay, then I want to take this chartreuse color. Love this. Oh, and I'm using Prismacolor pencils. Actually, I'm going over the, see the light green part? I'm going over it with chartreuse. It's beautiful for an eye color. Right over that watercolor that I laid down, just a little bit of chartreuse over that, and it just really pops it. That looks pretty. I'm using Prismacolor pencils, but I'm also using Jane Davenport's pencils. I should show you guys really quickly. I bind up all my pencils. I keep them in this bag here. I bind up all my pencils, whether it's Jane Davenport or whether it's Prismacolor pencils. I bind them up like this. So all my blues go here. I usually do all my teals in one. I must have done my teals in blue in this one. So all my purples go in here. And I put a rubber band around them. And this way you can find your pencils so much easier. Those were all my greens. See what I'm saying? So I do that. I keep them in this bag here. And I like them in this bag so that I can take this bag with me anywhere. So let me show you her eyes. Look how pretty the eyes look with that green. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. Make sure I stay I know I'm up close. Okay, because I'm going to be doing some more work on these eyes. Let's take a little bit more and let's make the pupils a little bit blacker. I also do this with the Prismacolor pencils. That would have done it too, but I just first use this. Oh, I do want to talk about that. You can get yourself let me see how many you get. I think it's a pack of like 36 Prismacolor pencils, which are nice pencils, which are just, you know, they're just awesome pencils, colored pencils, and they're totally blendable. You can get yourself a nice set of like 36 or 38 at Sam's Club. At least here in Las Vegas, they sell that, and it's only $20, you guys. For colored pencils, that's an awesome deal. And with a set of 36, 38, you can do wonders with that. If you want to get the Jane Davenport set, but if you're, well, you could do a lot with her set too. But I think she only has like 18 or 20 colors, I believe. I was going to show it to you if I could find her palette. I don't see it right now. Because I took them out of the 10. I don't keep them in the 10. Yeah, I don't see her 10. I was going to show you guys. Anyway, her pencils are expensive. They're like $40, $45. But if you use a coupon, you can get them for $20, $25. So that's a good deal too. You just don't get as many. I think you get 20. But I know that the Prismacolors at Sam's Club, you get like 36 or 38. So if you bought those two sets, you're not investing a ton of money if you use a coupon on Jane Davenport, and the ones at Sam's Club, that's a great price. You're not investing a ton of money, and you'll have a nice set of pencils. Okay. Next. You know what? I want to define the line right here that goes around. Just defining this line around her eyeball. Just a little bit, because, you know, it loses a little bit as you're painting. Okay. That's done. Okay, now I want to do the catch light, which is why I'm glad that I brought you guys in really close. I like to use acrylic paint. 50-cent cheap acrylic paint. One little dot will do you. That's even too much. And my liner brush. Okay. And I get this liner brush. Got one at Michael's, but you can get them anywhere. Use a coupon. But it's called a liner brush. I use the heck out of it. I got lucky. I've told this story a million times. I got lucky because I'm over here testing my brush out just a second. Hobby Lobby, they're 75% off. I think I got it for 90% in this one. Yeah, I got it for 90% in this one section. Anyway, it was 90% off these brushes. And I picked a bunch of these up for like $1.25 or something. Fabulous. Okay, so for the catch lights, I like to bring one catch light right here, like that. I'll be turning my book. Sorry, guys. Hope I'm in frame. Another catch light there. Then I like to try to put another one like right there. Okay. So let's do the same thing on the other side. Put a catch light like right here. Okay. That catch light's a little bit weird. Okay, that's good. And then another catch light over here. And then another catch light right here. Perfect. Look what a difference that does with the eyes. It's all these little things. I mean, right now you're going to watch me do a million little things. See what that does to the eyes? Fabulous. Okay, so now we're going to do some eyeshadow. We're going to use the same colors that we have on the lips for the eyes. So again, we're going to use the Mystic Purple and the, are we going to use Fairy Tale? Yeah, we'll use Fairy Tale. Okay, so the Mystic Purple. Oh, that's not Mystic Purple. What the heck is that? That was Frida. Don't you love her names? They're so cool. Okay. Mystic Purple's right there. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to take the Mystic Purple, or just, yeah, Mystic Purple, and we're going to half the eye. It's only going to go halfway. Okay. And the other half is going to be the the Fairy Tale color. So this one right here. Ooh, that Best Friends is pretty too. That right there. Okay. This is where it's important to have a little piece of paper to the side so you can see how much paint, what color, how much paint you have, how much color is on your brush before you go right to your paper. And kind of let them mesh into each other. Okay. All right. The other thing I want to do is just tap a little bit onto the purple here, so there's not such a harsh line, so it blends out. Okay, and then between here and here we're going to do some purple, but we need the purple to be really watered down, and it's going to be a shading of purple, and I'll show it to you. And it won't look right until it dries. See right here how there's this shading of purple right there? That's what we're going to do the same thing here. And it looks really weird until it dries. Because I remember when I did it, I was like, oh my God, I don't like that. And I said, Angela, you know, let it dry. Things change as soon as it dries. And it dried, and I was like, oh, I love it. So, happens to me all the time. And then, oh, Angela, you know, you gotta let it dry. Okay, we'll see how that dries. Oh, my back is itching. Don't you hate that when your back itches in a spot where you can't even barely get to it? Oh, I got to. Let me. Just a second while I itch myself. Oh, I have a nice back scratcher. It's not in my art studio though. Okay. Ooh, I hate that. I got it with one of my long paint brushes though. All right, let me look and see what I'm doing. I took off my glasses to see what I'm doing. That's funny. My readers. My readers aren't good for color, to look at the color situation. That's what I wanted to look at. All right, we're gonna let that dry. And it looks a little funky right now, but I bet you that will dry very beautifully in just a moment. Okay, another thing, let me just look at my sample thing here. We're gonna add, while I have the white paint still out, let's just add a little, with my little brush, a little dollop of white on her nose. I'm gonna use my little brush, this little pointed brush, and just a little bit of a white highlight on her nose. Okay. In fact, I'll keep that white handy because we're gonna use that quite a bit. Okay. While we're waiting for all this whole thing to dry. Okay, we're going to do her lips and shade her lips. And we're going to shade her lips with, gosh, I don't know why my back keeps itching right there. God, if your back itches, does that mean you're going to get money? Like if your hand itches? I'm going to be rich. Oh. Okay, so for these lips, I'm going to shade with that and shade with this, I think. We'll shade with this. Okay, so for the purple, let me make sure I'm in frame still. Yeah. You're just gonna, like you're outlining the lips, like when you do your lip liner. Same thing. Okay, we did that with the purple. With this purple here, I think this is the Jane Davenport purple. Yep, it is. With her little magical wands, as she calls them. And then we're just going to blend it out with our blender. Now, this one to say too, when you use this blender and you blend it out, it'll blend out so you have your deepest color is what you start with, right? When you blend it out, you go to the mid-tone, and then you go to a lighter tone after that, especially whatever the watercolor was. Then you end up where what the watercolor was originally. So it also saves you if you don't have a ton of pencils, because you create 2 to 3 more colors from blending it out. Okay. And then let's blend that out. So see what shading does? Shading is everything. So if you ever look at someone's work and you're like, oh, I love it, it's probably because they shaded the hell out of it. See how pretty that looks? I love this half purple, half purple, half magenta. I think that looks cool. Just wanted that magenta to be a little bit more, a little deeper. Yeah, and I want the purple to be a little deeper too on her eyes. So we'll add a little bit more. So that's the important thing to do. Let stuff dry, and then you'll know when to what to do, when to go back to it. And then let's just take a little bit of blend that out. All right, we'll keep letting that purple in the center dry a little bit more. We may do something else different with that, we may not. So, okay. Love that. All right, we are gonna blow dry it. Sorry, I got my head in the way. All right, let's blow dry. Okay, see that purple between her eyes? I do want it to be a little bit deeper, but not too deep. It's just, it's weird. It has a very, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this purple down again. I'm going to put it on a little bit deeper than I want. Then I'm going to take my towel and go like this. There we go, perfect. And that's going to give it that purple look without being too deep, kind of blended. All right, we're going to take the blow dryer to this here in just a second. Okay. Oh, and then, you know what, okay. I just put a little water there without anything else. And just try to lift some color there. Let it sit there and let it lift. All right, let's blow dry it. Okay, I want to take a little bit more color out of this right here. A little bit more. What we're looking for is a hint of color right here. Okay, let's try it again. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, sorry guys, but you're seeing what it takes to do things sometimes. This right here, I want it to blend out a little bit more here. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, we'll let that dry there. And then I want to do some, I want to take some, the white paint, and we're going to do some little, like little stars around her eyes. Okay, like this. Let me make sure that you guys are still seeing me. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take this, take my little liner brush and just put acrylic paint, and then just dip into. We're just going around her eyes, just putting little stars, maybe little, not stars, but little sparkles. I think it adds so much. And all these little things I do, I have learned from watching people on YouTube. It really is the best teacher. YouTube is like, I call it YouTube University. If you want to learn something, watch YouTube. You'll learn it. And you can get proficient as hell at something too from watching YouTube. Look how many teachers you have. You have teachers everywhere. Learn all different ways of doing things. Oh, I love that. That looks cool. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of white on the lips here. Some little highlights on the lips. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, now we're going to go to the skin. I was going to do the hair next, but we're going to go to the skin. We're going to finish up the skin, and then we'll go to the hair. Let me see how much time we have. How long have we been working on this? Oh my gosh, we've already been on here for... Have we been on here for an hour and 10 minutes? Dang. All right, let's see if we can get done another 15 minutes. What did I just say? Oh, we're going to finish up the skin. Okay. So we're not in this one. We're not going to get back to coloring the wings here. We'll do that in another video. Okay. So I'm using a Prismacolor Sienna Brown, and I'm using dark umber. Oh, and just so you guys can see this part here. Oops. Look how cool that looks. Okay. And we're got the idea to put that color in between her forehead, which it's still drying, so it's going to dry even more. See how here they do it here? They do it here. She always does that in her books. So she does it right here. So I thought that looked pretty cool. So that's where we got it from. I'm letting it dry. Okay. So I'm going to use, like I said, the Prismacolor Sienna Brown and dark umber. So first we're going to go in with the Sienna Brown. Let me put my glasses on. We'll go up in these flowers. And we're adding, so we're deepening the skin tone up. And you want to try not to press down too hard with your pencils, because you're going to add more pencil on top. And if you do it too hard, you won't really add pencil on top. You won't be able to add any more colors on top. Okay, so let's blend that out with my blender. And like I said, what that does when you blend it, it blends it out to like the mid-tone color. So you can have just your lightest color and your darkest color, and then you won't have to worry about that mid-tone color because you're going to blend it out, and then it blends out to the mid-tone color. So it saves you on not having to have as many pencils. And even if you have the pencils, it saves you the time for having to find the next tone, the mid-tone. Okay, so we're blending all of this out. Probably already blended this, but we're blending it again. Okay, then I'm going to take my deeper, which is my umber, dark umber, and we're going to go really close to the hairline and all the way around the face. We're not going to come out very far with this color. This color is very dark. But wherever there's like a little crevice, like right in there, that would be really like a lot darker, right? Because it's going to create some shading. So I do hit it pretty hard there. Not really hard like bearing down, but going over and over that area. Okay. And this just really deepens up the skin tone. Okay. I just went a little bit over the nose with this darker color too. In fact, let's go inside the nose with this. We're going to do a little shading inside of here too. And let's blend it out. We got a little bit too dark in that nose, so one nice thing about colored pencil, if you get too dark or too much, you can erase. Love that. There we go. I need to cut that back a little bit. There we go. Came in a little too close on that nose. Perfect. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, now let's take our blender and go along the hairline there and just everywhere we put that dark at. And just blend it out a little bit. I love me a good blender pencil. Sorry if my head was in the way at all. Fabulous. And there's something else I want to go over. Where her highlights are at, I want to take a light peach color, Prismacolor Premier, light peach color, and go over her highlights with this peach color. Just to blend the highlights in just a little bit more. Because on her, I probably went a little bit deeper with her skin tone. We still want it to look like a highlight, but we don't want it to look too drastic, right? So a good blending color, just to blend things out, is this peach color. It's a really good blender. I really, really like it. Yeah, that looks good. Look what that did. That just blended that in a little bit more, which I think looks really good. Just a second, I got a little overzealous right here with that dark color. There we go, that looks a little bit better. If you get a little heavy-handed, an eraser does miracles. And I got a little heavy-handed right there. There we go. Okay, and the same thing with the body. Let's just start shading the body. This is really how you start darkening up your skin tone. With all this shading. So I'm just going to keep shading all this whole area. And then I will come in with my blender here in a second. Okay, and then come in with our blender pencil and blend it out. See how it blends it out, and that's so it goes from dark, mid-tone, and the lightest color, which is the base color that you put on. And at first this can seem a little bit difficult, but after you like start doing it and you start practicing, it just starts becoming more second nature, and you just have to do it. Just do it, practice your shading, watch how people do it, and then watch how somebody does it. If you like their techniques, then get a coloring book and start. Okay, now I'm going to take my dark umber and then just go like this. Especially in those, like underneath the chin, in the corners, really darken those up, because that's where it would be dark in real life, right? Even though this isn't real life, I mean, this is like a little fairy. But act like it's real life, okay? Just kidding. I love doing this. I could just do it for hours. Did I get right here? Did I get right here? Yeah. Okay, so then blend that out. So let me show you how that's looking. Oops, I'm not showing you anything. There you go. Look how that looks, that shading. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Oh my gosh, well, hopefully you guys were seeing that. Yeah, you guys were. Thank goodness. All right, now I'm going to come back out a little bit because we need to do the arms. Oops. See if I can just come. Oops. Let's go like this. Sorry to drive you guys crazy. Yeah. All right, let's do the arms. And we'll only be doing this for another 5 to 6 minutes. I know this video is getting long, but this is the part that takes me the longest. Let me see what I'm doing. This is the part that takes me the longest, is the face and the body and the hair. Well, it all takes me a long time, but this has to probably take me the longest, which is why I always do the skin tones first. And I'm not complaining. I don't care that it takes me a long time. I love it. So I went right over my branch there with that color. We don't want to do that. Okay, so let's do that here. Go to the other side. I mean, how many layers have we put on the skin tones for this? And it is important to keep doing all the layers. It's what brings it together. Like in mixed media, when I do the collage bits, if you watch my videos on that, how many layers do we put on the background? But it's all the layering that makes it. Whether it's coloring in these coloring books or coloring your own drawings or doing mixed media and you have several layers on your background. Okay, now let's blend it all out. I kind of go over it real quick and then blend it out. Go over it really quick so it kind of smooths out and then blend it out. So I kind of go over it so it smooths and then make little circles to go out from there. I'll just go like that to this whole thing and then circle it down. This is definitely one of the investments I would make. I'd have these on hand all the time, these blender pencils. That's what they're called, blender pencils. It's one of my most important tools. And I know people who do pencil work like this, use colored pencils, and they don't like a blender. They like to go over and over and over and over and over. That drives me nuts. You put the color on and some light strokes, and then you can go over with your blender pencil, create a mid-tone range color, and blend it out. So much easier than having to keep going over and over and over it with different colored pencils. That drives me nuts. But you may like doing that. So if you enjoy going over and over with pencils, going with your darkest shade, your medium, and then your light, and going over and over and over, go for it. I'm not doing that. Oh, okay. So next we just need to go to the very edges with our dark. Up here in this area right here, get nice and dark right there. Sorry, I'm getting a little quiet. Just focusing. Okay, and let's blend. And I'm just gonna, I don't make a circle out of that. I just blend, just kind of just go over it with the pencil. A lot quicker for that dark color. Awesome. I know, it looks so pretty. I so wish we could do the hair right now, but for the sake, we'll have part 2. And in part 2, we'll start doing the hair. Okay, let me let you guys see what this looks like. Hopefully we're out enough. Let me see how much time I have on here, how long I've been on here, for an hour and a half. Let me see where I'm at on my camera. You know what? What the heck, you guys? We'll go for longer. Let's do the hair. I got plenty of juice on my camera. Let's go for it, girls. Let's go for it. Excuse me. I should say boys and girls. And there's the arms. So you guys have seen that down there. Okay. So let's do the hair. Okay. Remember our color palette. These are the colors we're using. Okay. So there's a bunch of flowers in the hair, and what I want to do is I want to just base coat, and I'm not going to shade the flowers yet. I'm just going to put the lightest color on. Then we will shade the flowers out. But I want to do the flowers in my pencils because they're wax based, right? And then I'll go over it and kind of going around the flowers with the watercolor. But the watercolor will repel the wax pencils, right? So that's why I want to do that really quickly. Okay. And I think you guys will understand what the heck I'm saying in a second. You guys are like, what? What are you talking about, girl? What are you talking about? Is my pink at? Okay, I think these are all the colors. Oh, this teal here. Okay. So I'm going to go with all these colors for the flowers. And it's just going to be really, really light. Okay. We'll do a purple one next. And we'll throw shading over all these flowers after we get the hair done. And I probably won't shade these flowers until my next video because I want to do the hair. I love me some green eyes. Don't those eyes look gorgeous? I'm keeping all these pencils in my hand so that I oh, what use it. Okay, what are we gonna put there? We'll put this teal color. Okay, put this teal here. Put this teal here. Put the teal over here. Put purple over here. We'll do yellow here. Oops, that's not yellow. I love playing with these pencils. Like Jane Davenport says, my little magic wands. I shouldn't be calling them pencils. They're magic wands. Okay, do we have all of our little flowers painted here? All right, let's see if I have all our little flowers. Okay, like I said, the big ones, we will shade those in, and we'll be shading those in with the deeper colors of these. Okay, which I have all those colors over here. Okay, so next, let's do the hair. We're going to put down a lighter pink color, And then we will put our hair strands in with a deeper color, with this color right here. That's what I did before, and it turned out fabulous. Now, where the hell? There's my brush. I'm going to use that color right there, which is called Frida. Is that Frida right there? Yeah. And I am going to water it down a little bit because I don't want it real dark. I want to make sure that it's lighter than this other color, because this is going to be our like kind of, you know, the darker part of the hair strands. Okay, so this we're just going to put in as our base color. Just put that on. And we're going to do our best to avoid the pencil, but it should avoid it itself pretty much, because water and wax don't like each other, right? That's how I'm seeing it. Yep, they're avoiding each other. Yay. I thought about that a little bit before I did this. So I was thinking, how am I going to avoid not watercoloring all those little stupid flowers everywhere? Well, they're not stupid. But, so I thought, well, if I put the wax down first, it will repel, is that hair? Yeah. It will repel the wax pencils. And I was right. Okay. Wait 1 second, and get a little bit more color on here. Hopefully you guys can still, gotta move my book over a little bit. Okay, I am losing juice in my camera. Hopefully we have like 5 more minutes. I did push it today. I try to go for like an hour on my videos, on like my tutorials, but, and then do like a part 2, but I don't know. I was on a roll, so I thought, well, let's just keep going. If the video's too long for some people, you can always stop it and pick it up again later if you wish. Or be like, I saw enough, I don't need to go back. Whatever you need to do. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, I gotta pay attention here, because she's got a lot going on. It's a braid here, and then she has like some feathers and stuff hanging off of here. Oh, that right there was a part of her wing. Let's get that off of there. This, see right here, you have to be careful because you don't know, you have to figure out what's what. And this was a part of her wing right there. There we go. Just as long as I lighten it up. This is her hair right here. Okay, then we'll get the hair right here. That's what I'm saying, when, especially when things are really intricate like this, just really look at the drawing to know, because you might be coloring, something might be, you know, her outfit, and you're thinking it's the hair. So just really look at it, and you'll find it. You'll figure it out. Did I get all the hair? Yeah, that looks good. All right, if my camera turns off, you guys just know that we'll have a part 2. We'll be going on to part 2. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here, but we are going to shade it. Let me see if I can't just do a little bit of shading so you guys know where we're going. I'm using this color right here. It's called Fairy Floss. I love everything's fairy. Jane Davenport. Okay. Make sure my camera hasn't turned off yet. Nope. So what I like to do, this is a deeper, so this was a lighter shade, right? We'll start with our lightest shade, and then I just like to come in. Get this brush not so. And come in with, like wherever you see like the black hair strands, come in with your brush. And you can even add strands in too. You don't just have to follow the strands that are there, but I like to start at least with the strands that are there. Also, I like to go around the outside of the hair. And then go over this hair strand. Okay, so you guys understand what I'm doing. So I'm going to finish up the hair strands. So when you guys come back, all the hair strands will be done. But now you guys understand how I did the hair. So I like to do my lightest color and then come in with a darker color to shade it. You can even throw a third color in here too. But we're just going to work with these 2 colors. I think that'll work perfect. Okay, you guys, that is it for now in this one. Come back, see me in part 2. I will have the hair finished up. We will shade the flowers together, and we'll probably work on some of this or work on that other one. We'll see. We'll probably stay working on this one, and I'll finish up the other one offline. The one that I showed you guys originally. But let me show you how it looks. Let me turn her around. There we go. I think she's looking so pretty, you guys. Hope you guys like it. Yeah, I think she's looking really, really pretty. Okay, you guys. Just making sure you guys can see it up close. There we go. Yeah, I think she's looking really pretty. Okay, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you give this video a thumbs up, that'd be great. Any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram. Share this video if you'd like. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in part 2. Okay, bye.